and you shall receive. Hi there, it's Timmy Joe, and I make videos about computers on the internet. This is Core i7-7740, your local KB Lake X low-end processor on the X299 platform. And I will admit, I haven't had the pleasure at all of playing with any newer Core i7 chips. So, especially with this being a K, especially with this being the new X299 platform, I'm very excited to plug this into my test bench, to do some testing, some videos on the stuff, and just kind of get acquainted with it a little bit. Because, what's that? Threadripper's on the way! And I know this does not compete at all with Threadripper. I mean, the highest end chip out right now for the X299 platform doesn't even compete, if you know what I'm saying. But I'm excited to just overclock this, see where it goes, see what's up in things and stuff. So everyone's done stuff with this, but I'm more really concerned with giving you guys a outlook and review on this motherboard. This is pretty cool. ROG Strix x299-E gaming from our friends over at Asus. Well, they're not really my friend. We had to buy this, of course. This is, high-end motherboard, Strix motherboard. I would probably say it's the lower, well, I know it's the lower end of the Asus boards available for X299, but ROG it is, so we will check it out. So let's see what's in this box here. This would be, oh man, it's got Wi-Fi on board, and that would be a Wi-Fi antenna. So I'm not gonna take that out or lose it or anything. So whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. This is a very, extreme looking, yet not so extreme looking board. I would say it is kind of boring in gray, but I bet when you turn it on, it has a bunch of RGB lighting, but we will find out. So it goes without saying that you would only be using half the RAM slots in this with this chip, as well as getting a real cut in PCIe lanes as to what this board is capable of. There is a nice little ROG jewel in the middle here, and some shrouding and heatsink stuff that you would have to remove to install NVMe drives, as well as it requires both an 8-pin power delivery and a 4-pin, so you will need a higher end PSU to work with it. So let's go ahead and get this on a test bench, just in case you're caring about what else is in the box. There is a little leaflet if you want to make sure that your mom doesn't catch you masturbating to the girl in Mass Effect Andromeda, and driver CD, because that's still a thing. Looks like you got some stickers, because you got to make sure everyone knows you're an Asus Strix boy. Got a little manual there in the box as well. And then if we remove this, we got SATA cable. We have a extension for your buttons and stuff like that for your power supply. A little bracket that I don't know what it does. An extension for RGB lighting, which is nice. 4-pin RGB lighting. A matte black back plate. Some more SATA cables. And, it's got to have it, right? What's this thing here? Fan header extension of some sort. Something to do with Strix Asus or Aura, I'm sure. And an SLI bridge. So, some more cable ties. A little this and that. Some screws, some standoffs. So, yeah, comes with everything you're going to need to get right into it. So, I'm going to set this up on the test bench, and then we'll proceed from there to check out the motherboard and maybe do a little bit of overclocking on this chip. Ah! ROG Strix x299-E gaming motherboard with this old bad boy in her. i7 7740X, as in X-ray, mister. So, no problems setting this up. Very beautiful motherboard. In fact, one of the best motherboards I've ever had the pleasure of touching. That was until, just after this when I Threadrippered it up. So it's worth subscribing. Threadripper edition of the show. Threadripper build coming up with a gigabyte, actually. So a whole other thing. But this is an Asus ROG, and would you believe that this is a very expensive motherboard? North of $350 American, and not even the most expensive one you can get on the platform. No, you can get the Asus Prime X299 Deluxe, and holy jeez, it's about $150 more. As far as this one's concerned, though, it's a pretty decent setup. It has two RGB headers that let you do all the fancy things and stuff. Compatible with Asus Aura, of course, so we all know how that works very, very well. I've got my Giel memory hooked up into it, and it's making all kinds of fancy, nice colors. But yeah, the i7 7740 in there with an Arctic freezer, 240mm AIO, and easy breezy to get to 5 gigahertz on this chip. So no problems with support with VRMs, with power delivery. This thing just knocked it out of the park at 5 gigahertz, even with stock TIM, no delating, all that stuff. So pretty cool stuff. But yeah, this has very, very, very many features. It has like 8 SATA ports. It has 2 M.2 slots for full-on NVMe hard drive support. It has onboard, like, really good audio. So if you got some really good headphones, no need for extra amps and stuff like that. Onboard killer Intel Wi-Fi, some hookups for what they call Ethernet, that kind of stuff too. So I know it's hard to really make a motherboard sound exciting, even if it is glowing, red, purple, clear, blue, green, whatever. But yeah, I had a lot of fun, and as we'll see here, I had no problem whatsoever getting to 5 gigahertz, and that was with like altering 2 settings. So if you're an overclocking fanatic, this board has every option under the sun for you to really get into it, especially if you've got a really good cooling solution, got a lot of airflow in the case, and it has like heat sinks for everything. And I haven't had any VRM overheat issues, at least not on this platform here. I don't think that that was the problem, the lower end Kaby Lake X chips. It was the other stuff. But just in case you wanted to peek through all the options in here, basically you load into AI Tweaker, and all I did was load my XMP profile on the Giel memory to 3200 megahertz, and came down here, put a ratio of 50 in here, and bumped the core voltage from manual to 1.28, and it automatically did that on the RAM for the voltage. So I had no problem with just altering those settings, firing on into Windows, and running some stability tests, and having absolutely no problem. Now I have a very good cooling solution on this, of course. I would say you're going to need an AIO at least to run this kind of a setup right out of the box. But even without worrying about delidding and stuff like that, you could do this and get very, very good high-end gaming performance. This compared to Ryzen's like night and day for me. So pretty cool stuff. So as you can see, you have the ability to change every option under the sun for your voltages. Under advanced, there's even more to play with. And I just wanted to peek into Q-Fan control here. Look how many headers this thing has. It's insane. And it doesn't just go as far as to have the headers. There's a specific labeled, for AIO pumps and water pumps. And you can get a little M.2 fan to bolt on to your NVMe drives here. And it has its own little header. It's pretty crazy. And then, of course, it's got, like I said, the RGB support. It's important. That's why I mentioned it as one of the first things. But there's some pretty good monitoring in here. I noticed that it does a very, very good job of monitoring temperatures and bumping things up very, very quickly. So you won't have any problems with temperatures as long as you have good fan support. port and stuff like that. So yeah, if you've seen an ROG BIOS in a while, UEFI utility, you know what it looks like, but nothing's missing from these menus. Now, you know, you're not going to be having to kind of play with something and try and deep dive into something. It's fairly all well laid out. Pretty good little motherboard here. So I'm at Watch Timmy Joe, Instagram and Twitter. You know, it's a motherboard. I could, you know, read every product, you know, everything off their product webpage, but I just wanted to play around with it, and why not do a video on it, just in case you're out there, you're looking to buy this platform and you wanted to see it in action. And I will admit, I'm not, you know, the most, I have never played with this high end of an Intel before, so, you know, this is new territory for me. But I will be doing some overclocking above and beyond 5 gigahertz in a separate video, so it's worth hitting the subscribe button, as well as Threadripper build is in full effect, full swing. I have a motherboard, I have the chip, and I have it in my case, and it's there's going to be tons of videos coming up for that, as well as Vega. So it's worth hitting the subscribe button. I'm at Watch Timmy Joe on Instagram and Twitter, and I really do thank you very much for watching my channel and watching me blab about a freaking motherboard. Pretty good motherboard, though, I gotta say. I like it. See you guys in another video.